Hi, thanks for watching this video, and this is all about leadership. I actually am a person very passionate about helping leaders excel, and in line with that I've been looking at trends in leadership, seeing how things have changed in leadership, and by the way have also written all these research and analysis that I've done in my book, which is called The Facilitative Leader. This is the one, and it's available on Amazon. So coming to what leadership trends that I have seen, a few decades ago, the people who followed leaders followed for a certain reason. They had on one hand their internal issues, which was all about physiological safety. If you follow the Maslow's law of hierarchy of needs, he talks about that as the lowest layer in the pyramid. And on the other hand, they had options or opportunities that were not too many to choose from. So the leaders who had the power and who could talk about providing some bit of physiological safety and their basic needs, those were the leaders that people followed. And I'm sure you see some of those traces even today. But then time moved on and lots of new opportunities surfaced. Lots of people who had power were available to choose from, and now the internal needs on one hand moved from that physiological layer a little bit higher because they were now assured of safety from a wide range of people. Now what was the differentiator? So now people in the Maslow's law of hierarchy of needs actually moved up to a level where they are now focused on love and belonging. And that is when the new trend of leaders where they needed to influence people to work for them. And how did they influence them? Communication, far better and powerful communication, a great vision, so that people could actually see their future if they followed a particular leader. And that leader that moved from that personality era upwards to the influencer leadership era. But then things changed all over again. And lots of technological innovations, new things happening around in the world gave the business opportunities a wide canvas. And now people from their internal needs were going even beyond. And they were trying to see what kind of leaders we now could follow. And there we started to see that people also were worried about the fast changing world. We call it the VUCA era today. VUCA is an acronym which stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. What do we mean by that? Volatile. Volatile in the sense the speed of change has increased. Right? Today what we see is the lifespan of products don't last long enough. Great innovations can last only a few years, but something has to change all over again. In fact, years may be too long. We're talking of months these days. Uncertain. Uncertain is a very, very peculiar phenomena that we have seen happening in the last few years, where business verticals seem to have disappeared. The camera industry never imagined they would be threatened by the mobile phone. And I wonder what would happen to the TV, where mobile phone, tablets, all of them are still trying to see whether they can move their TV business out of this world. And like that, when we see that while we study trends within our own business, we need to keep our eyes open for what from outside could disrupt our business. That's the level of uncertainty today. Complexity. Complexity is all about being shaken up from different sources, technological advancements in particular, where small businesses seem to be disrupting the large established firms, and they're really struggling to see what next. Ambiguity. With all this change, volatility, uncertainty, and complexity, ambiguity must happen because you never know 1 year out if you're trying to establish a goal, what might change in the next 2 or 3 months. So if businesses have to set long-term goals, it's quite ambiguous. They don't have enough information about all that influences their business, and yet they have to place their bet and move on. So considering this VUCA, on the internal side, the employees are worried that their skills may not be ready and equipped to to suit this fast changing world, a fear of the unknown, all these on one side, and their internal needs moving up to a much higher level where people today demand respect, self-esteem and respect, the topmost two in the pyramid of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And why so? Well, today knowledge resides everywhere. Experience is no longer a differentiator. In fact, perhaps in some industries it could be a bottleneck. So considering all of these, the leader today needs to be inclusive, needs to be able to take information from wherever available, which means across the hierarchy. In other words, what we are saying is the leader needs to gather a divergent set of information and converge on a decision to go forward. The divergence and convergence skills are that of a facilitator. And that's why in my book, I have actually detailed how the facilitative leader is going to drive the new business world going forward. If a leader has to be successful, one of the core competencies would be that of being able to facilitate. There is lots and lots of other stories which substantiate this viewpoint. But however, what I would really like to call out is that the HR fraternity now needs to relook at whether they should include facilitation skills as a core competency of a leader. And perhaps even the B schools need to look at is facilitation a way to go, and to be able to include that in the syllabi that they teach. Once again, my name is Sanjay Dugar. I am a director at C2C Organizational Development Private Limited based in Bangalore. You could reach us on www.c2cod.com or email me at sanjay@c2cod.com. Thank you so much for listening to this video.